Hey everyone, this is Andrew from the Console Gaming Crew, and we couldn't be happier to announce that we are now a part of the Boss Rush Podcast Network and are featured on BossRushGames.com. BossRushGames.com is a great place where you can find up-to-date news articles, blogs, and podcasts about video games. In addition to that, there's a growing collection of podcasts in not just the gaming community, but other communities as well. We are honored to be a part of such a great network of podcasters, so please stop by and give everyone a listen. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Yeah, crew members, what it be?
Hey-o! Hi, Wes is getting chips. I think he's back, though.
I'm back now.
Okay. Did you get the chips?
No, I forgot them.
You fucking loser.
I couldn't find them.
Uh-huh. It's on the top shelf.
God damn it.
Where I can't even see them, but I know they're there.
Why did it hurt so much when I said hey-o? Did that do that to your ears too?
No,
Oh, it hurts your ears.
Okay, no, that was loud when he said oh, but no, we're good. Go ahead, just run with it.
Anyway, okay, so we now today, as you can tell, got to welcome Anthony back to the studio because he was not here last week. And this is our, as you can tell, he's excited. This is our first time as a trio back in the studio in months.
Yeah, we're
Right.
just
Yes.
don't try and actually put a time frame on it.
Months.
It's been a long ass time.
Yeah, it's been months. And as Wes and I talked about in the last episode, we wanted to come out with an episode dedicated to the influence of Asian culture on video games. And that's what we chose to do. We wanted to give it its due diligence. We didn't want to throw it together just last second. We wanted Anthony to be a part of it. So we got some good shit.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, look, as we said before, I mean, obviously we stand by, I mean, the Asian community, the AAPI, I mean, Asian American Pacific Islander community. I mean, with everything that's going on, I mean, you have our thoughts and, I mean, our prayers and everything, even through this time.
Absolutely. So the way we're going to work this out is I'm going to give a little bit, actually a lot of it. I say a little bit, but it's a lot of it, of information on it's going to be mostly heavily Japanese influence on gaming because that's where a lot of this shit came from. But
That is true.
As Anthony pointed out in the information that they're going to give, there's also other countries represented.
There you go.
So let me
We're
start
getting
here.
there.
And I will start by saying that, shockingly enough, I got a solid amount of information from, I'm probably going to butcher this guy's name. I feel like you now, Wes, but I think his name is Jacopo Prisco. That looks like Jacopo, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, Jacopo Prisco.
There you
On
go.
CNN had some pretty good information. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
You ready? So, ever since the first PC game that was created in 1962 at the Massachusetts Institute of Tech, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
We're doing great so
So
far.
you just like wanted to say all that instead of saying MIT. You idiot.
Okay, so we're gonna have a real minute-long side conversation here.
That's fine.
That's what MIT
That's
stands
MIT.
Yes.
Yes.
I never
Massachusetts
knew
Institute of
that.
Technology.
And now we
for.
know.
In movies,
He'll
they just say
never-
MIT. I'll never
Yes.
say Massachusetts again.
No, just
it's
say-
always MIT.
Jesus.
I didn't know there's a lot of M's. There's Massachusetts. There's Maryland. There's Montenegro. There's a lot of places. That's a place.
Yep, I know. But obviously it's not Massachusetts or MIT.
Okay. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. Ever since the first PC game created in 1962 at MIT,
Attaboy.
Japan has embraced gaming culture with an almost unrivaled passion. From games that became cultural giants to consoles that were symbols of their time, gaming was led by Japan for decades. After decades of dominance, Japan's cultural clout waned during the early 2000s. Video game expert Blake Expert stated, which makes sense, that as the appeal of video games grew larger and larger, it's not surprising that the culture and development would no longer be dominated by a specific region. However, a renaissance could be upon us because it took only 18 months for the PS4 to become the best-selling home console of its generation, and since then the Nintendo Switch has also received widespread critical acclaim. So Japan is still very much as impactful as they used to be. So I also wanted to I didn't want to do too much, but I broke down 4 important Japanese. Wow, there's that P you're
I
talking
told
about.
you about the implosions, dude.
That doesn't happen either way. All right, important.
Go down the hallway.
Important Japanese video game inventions that we will start with Space Invaders, which, funny enough, it comes from Taito in 1978, which we just talked about in the last episode.
We did.
Because Taito is coming out with a bunch of new stuff, including like an AR version of Space Invaders. They didn't give too much information on that yet.
Yeah, but also, like, I mean, Bubble Bobble was another one,
Yeah.
and Darius
So
was another one as well.
longevity, because this is 1978 and Taito's still alive and well. So Space Invaders, one of the first arcade games that essentially ignited the video game craze in Japan, a rumor circulated that Space Invaders actually caused a shortage of 100 yen coins when it came out. It also introduced a now common game mechanic that you see in games all over of enemies moving faster as the player shoots them. Funny enough, though, they actually didn't intend for that to happen. That wasn't just because of, they wanted it that way. It was actually due to hardware limitations, because when you shoot the aliens off the screen, it just gives them less that they have to render, so they're able to do it faster. They didn't intend for that. It just worked that way. And that's now like a staple of how the game works.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You also have Pac-Man in 1980. So Pac-Man pioneered the maze chase genre, which has since been imitated countless times. A company that tracked the video game world records scores estimated that Pac-Man had been played more than 10 billion times in the 20th century. 10 billion times.
Including in my house. In this current house, like my daughter loves playing Pac-Man.
And fun fact, it was actually originally titled Puck-Man. The only reason that they switched it to Pac-Man is because they feared that in the arcades, some less than savory people would graffiti an F on there and it'd be Fuckman. So that is why they switched it to Pac-Man.
Okay.
So that's two,
solid answer.
That's two important inventions right there, because you basically started the, that genre of games where you shoot, and Wes is out here getting messages and causing ruckus.
I'll be honest, just quick sidetrack here. My messages are things popping up, so that way I know if a PlayStation 5 comes out and I need to try to go ahead and make a purchase.
We'll allow it.
I'm just saying.
So now you move into the third and arguably the biggest contribution, and that would be the Famicom. So by the end of the decade, the Famicom system was such a success that it was found in 37% of Japan's homes. When it launched in Japan, video games were facing a crisis in the U.S. due to poor quality products rushed out to cash in on a craze, which eventually alienated customers. I mean, we see shit like that all the time. How many times is a game we feel like it gets rushed out just to get it out there? That's the crisis that they were dealing with.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's a crisis they were...
I was going to say it, but West BB2.
That's something that they were dealing with for a while back in the early 80s. So while it was happening, because of that, Nintendo waited 2 years to release the Famicom in America, and they were smart enough to remodel it to look like a VCR, because that was one of the most incredibly popular pieces of technology at the time. And then they renamed it the NES, which is what we all know it as today.
Yeah, the Nintendo entertainment system.
So that system alone revived the gaming industry in the U.S. And that's another contribution from that.
Yeah.
Because they were going through a crisis here. Then you can move into the Nintendo. Because the Nintendo. We just did the Nintendo. The Game Boy. Excuse me. After already revolutionizing the home console market, Nintendo turned to mobile gaming. The Game Boy revolutionized the handheld scene, and its design became an icon of the era. All that was available up to that point was essentially wristwatches that featured a single game. And even though the specs were poor compared to normal consoles, it was capable of playing hundreds of titles using cartridges, and the simple monochrome screen allowed for great battery life and lower prices, which turned out to be exactly what people were looking for at the time.
I would love to have a game on my smartphone, on my smartwatch. You know what I mean? For real.
Well, that's what... Have you ever heard of Game & Watch? It's like Game & Watch. That's what they were back in the day before.
For real, I would play Snake on this thing, hands down. That shit would be fucking awesome. I'll go old school as fuck, man. Old school Nokia, man. Let's go.
So things that we would bitch about now,
Woo.
That's one.
From down the hall.
Things that we would bitch about now, such as the monochrome screen, which only had, I think, 4 different shades of gray, actually helped for them back in the day because it increased battery life and lowered the prices, which is exactly what people wanted.
There you go.
Nintendo initially wanted to include a Mario release with the Game Boy, but they were later persuaded to acquire the rights to this little obscure Russian game in 1984 called Tetris, which basically ended up being a runaway success, and that's all they needed.
Still played to this day, like a lot.
That is all they needed. And then lastly, because we're going to talk about it a little bit more, I feel, but Sonic the Hedgehog, another production that came out of Japan, because the only other big name in Japanese gaming at the time was Sega, who needed a breakthrough to stay competitive with Nintendo, and the quick rising popularity of the fast-paced Sonic games made the Sega Mega Drive, which we know here is the Genesis, a strong competitor to the Super Nintendo, which is basically what started the what is our best episode that we've had so far, the console war between Xbox and Sony.
Yeah.
Well, this is what started all that. That started the very first console war
between Nintendo and Sega
in the 1990s. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, So you want to talk about
that? Actually, kind of cool if we went ahead and did like a throwback history,
console war, like a
history console war,
like a look in review now with every, we have all the facts, we have all the.
Well, with consoles in history, we actually could.
We can match, but we could, actually, what we should do? Taking a little, a little page out of the Twisted Capes book is we could do a bracket for systems. We could do like a March. It wouldn't be March Madness by the time we do it.
Jesus Christ!
You can still say it.
Yeah, you can say it.
You could still say it. You just can't call it that.
Correct.
But that
Wes got so worried.
We're trying to put this on YouTube. I don't want to get shut down within 10 minutes of making it.
Nah, you'll be okay.
You can still say words. They didn't copyright March Madness the word.
I'm pretty sure there's actually a R.
No,
you can't. Okay. You can't title your shit March Madness. I don't think, but you can still say it.
All right, keep going.
As you were.
But no, I was just saying that we should do that. We can do that with consoles, bracket it out. But
that'd be neat.
Anyway, the air just kicked on in this room, and it feels
amazing.
Fantastic.
That's kind of what I just did. I was like, oh,
fantastic. Man. So, that's my shortened spiel on. I still felt pretty long of Japan's influence on the video game culture as we know it today. So now what we're going to jump into are the top 10 biggest gaming companies in Asia as of 2020. We've got 10 of them that we'll go through. We're going to keep it as quick as we can. And these guys both have history and some top games and stuff to put it all in perspective. So we're going to go 10 to 1. We will start with number 10, which is the Sonic team.
Yeah, so Sonic team, it actually started at least within a thought process back in '83 because of, who was brought in for it. Yuji Naka, was hired to the Sega Consumer Development Division, and when he was done working on a project called Girls Garden, he went ahead and they were really starting to try to figure out what to do next within the squad. And then they went ahead and created another game, which we're going to talk about, which is Phantasy Star. Now, obviously, you have Phantasy Star Online, which is a huge fucking game. Especially over in Japan. I know for a fact. Over in Japan. Just over in Asia. Period. That game is pretty massive. But so in the 80s and 90s, there was a huge rivalry, like Andy was talking about, between Sega and Nintendo, and it was basically the 8-bit war. Let's call it that. I actually kind of like that now.
War.
The 8-bit. Oh, I'm sorry, 16-bit war. That's what. See, I fucked it up already.
Dang,
and
Andy
right just fucking flew right in,
full
bore, like, hell yeah, boys.
I just jumped right in your arms and said, take me away, big guy, take me away.
You really did. And look at that, man. You just...
Terrible friend.
And I dropped you. And I straight dropped you.
You dropped both of us, man. You ran us both off a cliff. That's what happened.
As I sat here and watched and said, bye, guys.
But yeah, so the 16-bit war was basically between the Genesis and the Super NES. And the biggest thing was that Nintendo had its... and we'll talk about Nintendo later, obviously. They had their mascot, their icon, which was, obviously Mario. So
I'm sitting right here. What are you talking about?
The red shirt and the mustache don't lie.
Yeah, I know.
We know. But when, what they finally figured out was like, okay, we need to create somebody. And I actually have it later on in the Sega portion, because they had... they created games like Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and and stuff like that. Yeah. So from there, they were like, we need to make something for people to really get a grasp of what we do. And they created Sonic. Now, the red shoes for Sonic the Hedgehog are actually based off of Michael Jackson, into which I think we actually talked about it with the Heroes and Villains when we did Sonic and Robotnik.
We did, yeah. Because that's when we were dropping all sorts of nuggets about how like Sonic was originally supposed to be a rabbit.
Yes,
but his ears would go through, would go through the ball, and it wouldn't look right.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a fun episode to do. But yeah, dude. From there, everything just basically boomed, Like honestly, Sonic took them up to the next fucking level. Especially with Sega to go ahead and really put some like awesome games out. It helped Sega really. You wouldn't have
had a war if they didn't have that.
No.
Because they would have had nothing to answer Mario, Donkey Kong, that type of stuff.
No. And then, look, obviously Sonic Team was part of Sega, at least, in later years with the Dreamcast and, basically everything else that Sega went ahead and created. And then with Phantasy Star Online, when games started becoming, like that multiplayer online type style. Yeah. Oh, everybody probably heard that.
I did not fart. Just saying. I was just moving my chair.
Yeah, a couple.
I was just moving my chair.
But I mean, from there, it essentially turned into basically a Sonic Mania. And literally there was a game called Sonic Mania as well. It just really, really kicked off something that was just awesome. And you think about it, a team that primarily worked on only 3 games, between Sonic the Hedgehog, Phantasy Star Online, and a game called Nights into Dream. That's it. That's basically it, yo. And their revenue that they pulled in has been absolutely insane. Like, I don't have the actual numbers on right here for this. With other ones I do, which are actually extremely impressive numbers. But just basically only doing 3 games and being the number 10, when it comes down to Asian influence for gaming is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so I have a list of.
I was about to say, did he just steal all your games?
Not all of them, but you have Sonic, you have Nights into Dreams, Burning Rangers, and Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg.
So clearly, Sonic's their claim to and Phantasy Star, as you said, but Sonic mainly is their claim to fame. I mean, their name is Sonic Team, so and that's a game that's still wildly popular today, popular. They're so. I mean, Xbox, one console got them. I just don't remember which one it is, but there's a console that you can play Sonic games on. I'm just not sure which one it is. I don't remember. If
there is a Sonic game on all consoles. There is. Because my daughter was playing one on the One on my Xbox One.
But anyway, so that is number 10. That's Sonic Team. Now moving right along to number 9, we have Treasure Co.
Yeah, so Treasure Co is definitely they had a lot of really cool things. So Treasure Co Limited is a Japanese video game developer that was based in Tokyo, and their main games that they had were actually, I'm just going to put this right here, make it look a little bit better, so the camera can see me while I'm looking down. Instead of looking to the side.
Camera's got to see him. He talks all the time.
He just has to be the center of attention.
I'm a goddamn movie star, bro. What can I say?
We are in the presence of a rock star. Like, you don't feel it? Like, I feel it.
No, I don't
feel presence of a rock star here.
That's because he knows I'm a no-name piece of shit, so it's...
He's just a bad friend.
The company was first created in 1992. Their main thing they did were action, platform, and shoot-'em-up games. This company was actually created by a bunch of former Konami employees, and they wanted to explore basically making original games instead of just relying on making sequels. So their very first game they created was called Gunstar Heroes back in '93, and that was for the Sega system, and it was a huge hit for the company.
He loves himself. He loves himself so much. He said, "You know what? I'm just going to take Anthony's part too.
I'll be a filler. I'll be a filler."
I have to go ahead and say at least something about the games that are there. You know what I mean? You mean the company.
So basically, what he just said is, "Dude, I have to do some of your part. I just have to."
You know what we could do? You know what you could do? Being such a movie star, you'd be like, "Hey, you know what? Before I start, what games do you have that this company might have actually produced?"
But no, that's something that the host of the show would think of. I mean, he can't think of that.
I forgot he's a movie star.
No, I have so much more stuff that I do. I can't think of that.
Continue.
As you were.
Do you want his book?
Do you want my notes?
Not at all. Not at all.
Fucker.
So the neat thing was that the name Treasure, right? The whole reason they created that name was because they wanted to be the treasure of the industry. That's it. That's the whole purpose of having that name.
All right.
But they went ahead
that's starting the bar off awfully high.
It really is. And so the way they went ahead and so normally when you develop games, you have like a lead guy going ahead and working on it, a bunch of people working under him, and they're working exclusively on that.
Yes.
Treasure never worked that way. They were okay. They had people kind of floating in and out, kind of working on different stuff like that, and basically that was it. There was nothing else for it.
I gotcha.
They were very free flow when it came down to how the games actually worked. And so most permanent and temporary employees went ahead and they bounced around projects just as required. It didn't matter.
Fair enough. So, do you have any more games for them, or was that it?
I literally said one game.
Yeah, they've really out of all of the games they've created, their 2 biggest games they had were Gunstar Heroes, and it's a newer game. It's like a little series of a 1 and a 2, which looks like I have. Geist Crusher, Geist Crusher.
Geist Crusher, nice.
Whatever.
So, I mean, look, there's a reason.
I'm fucking over it, motherfucker.
There's a reason that they're more towards the bottom of this list than the top because they don't have a whole lot.
Quit yet.
But, okay, so number 8, we have Level 5 Company, and I'm worried about passing this to Wes before I pass it to Anthony, but We're gonna give it a whirl.
Go for it.
Level 5 company.
Yeah, so Level 5 was created in 98, and they originally were created to work exclusively with Sony Interactive.
Okay.
And initially they did in the early years. I'll leave it to Anthony to go ahead and talk about the games that they actually went ahead and made.
There it is.
I'll be learning, bro. Yo, at least I'm learning at number 8, and not at number 1.
Motherfucker. That's like if you go back and listen to episode 1 of the Console Gaming Crew.
Oh, don't do that, please. Don't do that. So Level 5 was created in 1998, and they primarily work with Sony Interactive. That was their main thing, and they did for the first few years. And the reason they're called Level 5 is that when it came down to like Japanese school report cards, Level 5 was the greatest achievement you could hit in them. So once again, like Treasure Co., they wanted to go ahead and make themselves we're just naming ourselves the top tier.
Look, give yourself something to shoot for, I guess. Yeah.
Absolutely. They went ahead and let's see here. Yeah, I'm trying to go through my stuff without going ahead and breaking anything that Anthony went ahead and said. In 2020, they actually they completely shut down their U.S. facility.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it had to do with COVID per se or anything else, but they exclusively make stuff for Japan now. That's basically all that they do. And Anthony, why don't you go ahead and tell them about some of the games that they have?
So some of the more well-known games that you might see is Treasure. Jesus, I can't even talk either. True Fantasy Live Online for Microsoft, Dragon Quest for Square Enix, and Rogue Galaxy, which is the studio's third RPG for SEC.
Dragon Quest, I know for a fact, is stupid popular.
Hav is actually playing Dragon Quest 7 right now.
Is he?
Some of the other games that they actually created were Yokai Watch. Did you ever? I think there was like a show.
There
right?
was
I was about to say, why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah,
I doubt
okay.
I watched it, but it sounds very familiar.
Oh no, it's past our time, but yeah, it was towards the very back end of like Saturday morning cartoons.
And a lot of, I don't know if you're gonna touch. You know what? I don't give a fuck because he already stole half my shit. So they also partnered with Namco for Ni no Kuni, and they also rely on Nintendo a lot for their publishing in the Western area. So
Ni
for,
Ni no Kuni, I know, is a popular thing too, right? I've never played it, but
yeah,
I
but
know
they
there's a lot
partnered with
involved.
Namco for that.
So that was Level 5 company. Oh,
I actually
sorry.
want
We weren't done. He just broke in the middle, so I could talk a little bit.
Do
you have any?
It wasn't all
do you have
about
anything
West.
with Dark Cloud?
I do not. So go for it.
Okay, yeah. So Dark Cloud was actually their first game that they put out as Level 5, and the game had to be delayed. Into which it was supposed to be a game that was supposed to come out with the PS2. At launch, but ended up getting delayed. And then when they eventually did put it out, it got rave reviews. And
I do remember hearing about that when the PlayStation 2 first came out. It was supposed to be like it was supposed to be an amazing game that was supposed to be like
at launch, I guess.
At launch with the system, like balls to the wall, and it got fucking held back.
Yeah, but because of that, it got critically acclaimed. The critics loved it, dude.
So they delivered. They took their time and delivered what they wanted to deliver.
They delivered massively, and it was because of that game that they were able to jump into the mainstream in 2002. With games like Dragon Quest, Rogue Galaxy, and True Fantasy Online. So in 2009 is kind of when they started launching into their mobile stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that was basically with the Revolutionary Original Ideas Discovery. That whole service that they did. And basically, it is only good in Japan. It is only good in Japan. It is only compatible with something called the NTT Docomo. You know what I mean? With the iMode mobile internet service, which is only over there. So, but yeah, man, that's what I have on Level 5.
Well, moving into a big one that everyone should know, or at least most gamers should be familiar with, is Konami Holdings Corporation.
Yeah. So how much bigger can you get than quite literally being known for the greatest cheat code of all time?
Yeah, Konami code.
Yes. And
R.I.P. to the guy who came out because he just passed away, last year?
Yeah, some point last year, yeah. And let's go ahead and actually kind of do this one a little different. How about you?
Are we going to do games first?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, look,
mix it up.
It makes a little more sense to go ahead and do the games, and then that way I can kind of have what I have.
All right, so Konami is known for its PES, which is Pro Evolution Soccer Series. They've also done Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Game, Metal Gear. They're known for Frogger. Yeah, all Silent Hill games.
They're a banger of a company.
Yeah, I mean,
oh hell yeah,
yeah,
they're a banger of a company.
They are. Castlevania, another one.
Just just loads of massively popular games.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But they actually originally started in 1969 as a jukebox rental and repair business
What?
in Japan. Yeah.
Humble
And
beginnings.
and the guy who created that business is still the chairman of Konami today.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, he didn't give that shit up at all. But yeah,
Did
yo.
you?
Oh hell no.
Yeah,
I wouldn't,
okay.
absolutely not. But so the name Konami is actually taken from the people that created, you know what I mean, this industry, this company. So so you had Ko, which was from Kazuki, you know what I mean, which is the chairman's last name, and then you have Namaka, you know what I mean, from one of the second guys, so Na, and then Mi comes from, yep, here we go again.
We apologize in advance. Again, we do not intentionally butcher these names. We do our best here.
And also, yo, I did my research. I looked up these names. I said these names when I did the research like 80 fucking times, and I still end up when I'm reading going, here we go. So, Miyazaki was was the last guy. So Konami, was just a combination of just their last names.
That's cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So their big thing, when they really started jumping to the video game scene was 82, and that's when they started making some games for the Atari 2600, which was obviously one of the games that we will probably hit on when we do our consoles through history. I'm pretty sure about that. But then, obviously other games that you had for it were Gradius, Castlevania, like Anthony said, Twin B, Contra, which obviously the Contra code, which is it's called the Konami code, but people also know it as the Contra code.
The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah, like Metal Gear, and so they had their earnings from 1987. They only made $10 million, and then in '91 they went from $10 million to $300 million. Yeah.
Wow.
So as of 2019, their revenue was 262.5 billion yen. Now, that equates to about 2.4 billion US.
That's money.
That's still some
That's
fucking
money.
Dime ass money, yo, for real. But yeah, so that's basically what I have on Konami.
Wow. Well, moving right along, I believe this is Nexon Co.
Nexon Co, yep.
Yep, Nexon Co. in the number 6 spot.
Yeah, so they got established back in '94. They're mainly PC and mobile. And Ant, why don't you go ahead and break down what they have for games?
So the only two that were notable that I'm going to touch on are Final Fantasy Mobile, and then they partnered with EA for FIFA.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense because I had never really heard of this company before, and seeing them be, a spot above Konami in this list, I was like, what did they even do? But now, Final Fantasy, you attach yourself to Final Fantasy, or FIFA. FIFA's like every year is like the best.
Yeah, and I'm
game.
pretty sure I pulled up a list because when I was doing a little bit of my research, out of all video game companies, there's one that's like, it's like Tencent, which is a mobile gaming company. Then it went like Sony, Microsoft, something else, and then they were like number 5 on the list of like money made so far this year or last year for 2020. It was insane, and they're just a mobile and PC gaming. And another one on our list that we're going to get to soon, same thing. They're on the list for like revenue made for the year is insane.
That's wild. So one of the neat things about Nexon is that the first game they ever made, the first title, which is called Nexus: The Kingdom of the Winds, was made back in '96. It is still continuing to be in service today.
That's crazy. That's long.
That's number 2, by the way.
Dos.
So don't talk for a while. Wes, go ahead.
Yeah, yo. So, dude, that is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Man.
It's amazing. What were you gonna say? I'll say it for you. Okay, good.
Yeah,
don't talk.
So back in 2018, and once again, you're talking about revenue. That they were pulling in. So this gives you a little bit of an idea. So in 2018, they pulled in 238 billion won because this is a South Korean company.
South Korean company, yes.
Yeah. So so their
denomination.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the right word. Thank you.
I was about to say demon.
They're
demons.
Their demonic possession. I was like, wait, what?
God damn it. So
wait, you're talking again. Oh, okay, good.
So 238 billion won equates to $210 million.
Still, for a mobile,
all they do is mobile and PC.
That's it. And I'm pretty sure. So, real quick, the next company that we're going to touch on, I don't know if you have it in your notes. I'm pretty sure they're mobile only.
Well, is that it for Nexon right now?
Yeah, it's it for Nexon.
All right. Well, as Anthony's talking about right now, we'll move into the number 5 spot, which is NC Soft.
NC Soft. So I'm pretty sure they're just a mobile gaming company. Really quick games that the just 2 notable games that I have are Lineage and Guild Wars.
Guild Wars I've heard of.
Yes.
I haven't heard of Lineage. But
Yeah,
Guild Wars I've heard of.
I believe they aren't. I think they're PC as well.
They're probably PC. Okay.
I think so because they have a rhythm game that's called Fuser.
Okay.
Which is fairly popular. I mean that one's like on their main website.
Okay.
That they have. So the game was found. The company was founded in '97, and like Anthony said, they went ahead. They made the game. Their very first game was Lineage, and that was made in 1998. They're mainly known for MMORPG games. Wow, I really went bad on that one.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing I found about this company is that the South Korean government actually owns almost 13% of it.
Ooh,
wow.
That's interesting.
You don't normally hear about a
That's
government owning a game company.
Yeah, that's
at all.
That's interesting.
That's wild.
Yeah, but last year they generated 459.2 billion won, and that equates to about 404.5 million.
Still good again, especially when you're not dabbling in consoles.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
And from here, we are getting into the biggies. From 4 to 1, we are talking about some of the big titans.
The biggies.
So
that's what we're getting into.
We are. So, number 4, Square. What, man, it sounded weird in my ears just now when I said that.
Everything sounded fine to us.
Square Enix.
Yeah, so the fun thing about Square Enix is that there are actually 2 companies that merged later on. So you had Square, and then you had Enix. So Enix started in 1975.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the main.
Cool.
The more you know.
Yes.
Isn't that trademark? Don't do that.
I don't know, is it?
Great, we're going to get fucking shut down.
We're not going to get shut down.
It's like it's only going to be audio. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, look, dude, we've been doing audio for so long.
Yeah,
It's
one
not
of the
that big
less
a
than
deal.
1,000 people that follow us are going to get us shut down.
Actually, before I dive too deep into what I have, Ant, what are the main games that we get
All right,
from
so
Square Enix?
if I list, I only have 4 games. There's plenty more, but these are 4, all of which I have played, and they have a little place in my heart. But anyway, I feel like
he made that sound so sincere.
That was like,
and
I
this
love
little
it.
list
I
of
felt
4,
something
this
there.
little list of 4 is kind of like just like my opinion of like the 4. Anyway, so Square Enix, I have Final Fantasy, the entire series. I'm not going to list them all.
because there's 47 of them.
47, yeah, sounds about right. Dragon Quest, Tomb Raider, and Kingdom Hearts.
And that,
And there's
there's
so
so much
many
more.
more. There's so many more. But I was just super me and chose what I liked. So those are my 4.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that would agree with that. If you didn't have Final Fantasy in there and you didn't have Kingdom Hearts, you'd probably have a little pushback. But
Oh yeah, probably.
because Final Fantasy and that's synonymous. You can't talk one without the other.
Yeah, so like I said, Enix was actually originally started back in '75. They focused a lot on publishing games. Oftentimes they would partner with other companies, and that's actually how they first published the first Dragon Quest game.
Cool.
You know what I mean? So and obviously they went to the consoles. Their first game was actually called Dragon Warrior, and that was a Famicom based game. You know what I mean? So obviously that was Nintendo, and it was an RPG that was released back in '86. And that shit would sell 1.5 million copies in Japan alone.
That's cool.
Like, that's nuts.
Job well done.
Absolutely.
Job well done.
And it was because of that they went ahead and really were able to start pushing the Dragon Quest.
Sorry, it's just a little fap clap. So my congratulations to them.
Yeah, so it was because that they were able to go ahead and really start working on the Dragon Quest run.
Yeah.
And actually throw that stuff out there. And Square was actually a huge competitor for them. You know what I mean? Like, they would go back and forth a lot because, like I said, they was created in '75, but Square was created in '83. And Square mainly were just a computer game software company. That's it. And they went ahead and they relied mainly on one programmer to go ahead and make this shit. Yeah, we're going to get a little more in depth with with the higher rung of this stuff because we have much more information and these are much more storied much more storied companies.
I gotcha.
Well, let's get after it because we are now in the big three. We are definitely in the big three.
Well, we're actually still in the 4 because
Wes is like,
there's
I'm not done.
Because there's overlap.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, Square and Enix. They went ahead and actually.
He's trying to let you know he wasn't done with Square Enix.
Well, no, because they merged. They merged back in the early 2000s.
So what you did, Andy, is you pulled a bad friend move and you cut him off. Not even an oops situation. So Wes, continue.
So when they originally, before they actually merged, it almost didn't happen. Do you guys remember the Final Fantasy movie? The CGI movie?
Yeah. It's terrible. What?
I actually liked it, to be honest with you.
I didn't see it.
You should watch it.
You should, honestly.
You might like it.
It was called Final Fantasy: The Spirit Within. And actually, there was actually a Linkin Park song that was actually in that soundtrack, too.
Yes.
And the movie absolutely flopped. Their budget was $137 million. That's how much they spent on the movie. They only made
$37 million.
$85 million.
Oh, yeah, that's close.
Better, but it's absolutely shitty.
How much was the budget?
$137 million.
And they made 85.
Yeah, absolute shitstorm. Right. So,
good thing they got the games to make up for it.
So
it's true.
Enix was very apprehensive to go ahead and do the merger, but a lot of stuff happened after that to go ahead and really push Square in the right direction. They went ahead and they pushed out Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts mainly. Kingdom Hearts was a huge game for them. That first game was massive for them to go ahead and put out to the world.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And once they went ahead and did that, then in 2003, Square was dissolved into Enix, and then they brought everything over into the company. So that's how you get to where you are now.
Gotcha.
Sweet.
So I could do it now.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So now we can jump into the big three without me feeling like I screwed anybody over. And number 3, we have Sega Games.
Sega Games, yes. A company that was made in 1940. Actually, in Hawaii was the actual original place where the company was made. It was originally an American-based company until when it was bought by Japanese native people to go ahead and actually start running everything.
Cool.
But yeah, so their aim was originally to they wanted to go ahead and make coin-operated amusement games. So slot machines, like Pac-Man type stuff, all that type of run of things. Mm. And what they did was that they originally wanted to put them on army bases. So after World War II, you obviously have a bunch of military bases over in Japan, and that's actually where the Japanese first started getting their hands, into Sega, because they went ahead. The games were all over the place.
That's sweet. I never knew that.
Yeah, and they went ahead and sent a bunch of their people. Sega sent a bunch of their people over to Tokyo to establish the service games of Japan, and they provided the coin-operated machines and, like I said, all the bases. And then a year later, all 5 of the people that were a part of this went ahead and actually expanded to over the next 7 years to include South Korea, the Philippines, and South Vietnam.
Wow.
To go ahead and start just pushing more of having these coin-operated systems. And then it wasn't until 1954 that you actually had you actually had like their first slot machines, which were called Diamond Star. And the name Sega is actually an abbreviation of Service Games.
Oh, shit.
SE Service, GA for Games. Sega.
Neat.
Yeah, so their first console came out in 1983, and it did okay, but it ran into a steep decline. You know what I mean? Oh, no, sorry, I read that wrong. No, so their first console came out in 83, and that was after there was a huge decline in the arcade industry.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? All that shit basically just dropped out. So they had the SG-1000. You know what I mean? Was their was what they had, and then while they were falling behind Nintendo, they did have a breakout system in 1989 with the Genesis.
Mm-hmm. I had one of them.
Oh, so do I. I still have it.
I don't still have it.
One of my favorite games of all time is Kid Chameleon still. I love that game so much.
Don't worry, I don't have that game on my list.
Oh, I don't even have that game on here. I just went ahead and just said it. But
I like the Power Rangers the movie game that was for Genesis with like Ivan Ooze. That was one of my favorites. That was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Jeez.
Ant, why don't you go ahead and break down some of the games you got?
So we have Sonic. I'm gonna go. This is gonna be like all the systems, not obviously just the Genesis, but Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi.
Yes.
Do y'all remember playing Crazy Taxi in arcades?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I do.
And then on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, and then you had one of my favorite ones on the Dream. It was on the Sega Saturn, which was I talked about it in like our first or second episode ever. That got us into gaming.
First episode.
Yeah, it was the first episode.
Yeah.
Was it the first episode?
Yeah.
Oh, nice shit. It was Virtua Fighter. They did 1 and 2.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. So they had a very good set of games throughout.
Yeah, they started. Yeah, because Virtua Fighter was kind of my introduction into those fighting games. Those at that time next gen fighting games. You know, not just like Street Fighter and shit like that. But yeah, Virtua Fighter, because then I got into. For a while, I thought Virtua Fighter and Tekken was the same thing when I was young and dumb. But
I love Tekken.
yeah, God, you just brought me back though with Crazy Taxi. Holy shit, was that game good?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Okay.
good.
Yeah, we good.
Well, no. So one of the great things that they did with the Sega was their slogans. They said the Genesis does what Nintendo don't. You want to talk about shots fired? Like,
Yeah. If only
Yeah,
it
you know,
lasted.
but the funny thing is if you look at like a lot of your Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's Sega and Nintendo getting together. Sega's the one that actually I think produces those and releases them.
I think so.
But at the end of the day, you have those two companies that were in a war together for how many ever years,
Yeah.
working together to create a game. I mean,
No,
it's
you're
cool.
definitely right. And let's see here. They also created games, like I said before, like Michael Jackson's Moonwalker and Joe Montana Football.
Yep, which actually became Madden.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. So like, from '83 to 2001, they sold over 800 million or 80 million units. And I mean, obviously, we're talking about consoles. You know what I mean? So they are sitting at the number 3 spot of the most units sold in history.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Now-
Solid place to be.
Now, I will say
It is for now.
the differentiation between their selling, the number 2 selling, and the number 1 selling are drastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have that information? Because
Yes, I
I'd like
do.
to hear it.
Yes, I do.
Or is that going to go with like some of your other stuff?
No, I have.
Well, I'm wondering if it's the system that I talked about in the beginning.
Well, do tell.
I think I said it was one of the PlayStations, right? It was PS4, right?
That was 2 weeks ago when we talked about the best selling.
I mean, just in the beginning of the shit that I read.
Oh, maybe. Well, anyway, Wes,
Just beginning of the shit that I
Wes,
read.
what do you got? I'm curious.
Well, no. So I mean, like I said, I mean, it was 80 million units total between '83 and '01 because Sega stopped making units.
Yeah.
I mean, they stopped making consoles in '01. But I mean, like I said,
crazy, isn't it?
they stopped making them, but yet they're still the number 3.
Yeah.
But it's mainly because of the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fair.
Because, dude, Sega is everywhere. And on top of the fact, there is still arcade stuff everywhere, like Dave & Buster's, all that type of stuff. And Sega has their hand
And
in
all that, yeah.
all of it. Because even from beginning till now, they are still coin-operated
Is it me? I would
gaming.
love to see like a new Virtua Fighter.
That'd be sick.
That would
Doesn't speaking of arcades, isn't it Sega that makes the I think it's called Hang On, with the motorcycle, like the original one.
I'm not sure.
I feel like it's Sega that makes those
Probably.
because Sega. I feel like I should know this because it's one of my favorite games. But Sega made Shenmue, right? Yeah, because they started on Dreamcast.
They started on the Dreamcast, so yeah, it was an indie company that they did the game.
Because
and
when
then
you
Sega
go,
released
yeah,
it.
because when you go into the arcade and you can play like older Sega games. I know Hang On's on there, like Space Harrier's on there, like all these crazy old Sega games.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. Continue, sir. Give us that. I thought you were going to give us that info.
Yeah, I'm curious about
That's
that
what we were
list.
waiting. You said you.
I want
you
number
said-
2 and number 1
Yeah, you said you had
for
it.
units
Well,
sold.
that is also going to be
Okay, gotcha. We'll
With-
just gotcha. We'll
with
keep
us
going.
moving forward.
All right. Oh yeah.
You know, the worst part about it is I asked him that, and he's like, no. You can go back and rewind the video and or audio, and it says, I literally asked him, he's like, no.
All right. So in the number
Fuck.
2 spot, we have Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Correct.
Big boy.
Yes. Look, they have a plethora of fucking games.
Yeah, and it was tough to really choose, honestly. So again, I just kind of chose from the heart.
It's
You know why? Because I can.
when you have
Beauty of being a co-host.
Facts.
when you have so many great games that you can probably create 6 different Mount Rushmores for your systems.
So and the list is like a mix
Prime
of
Word.
like everything. So like number 1, I had the Last of Us series 1 and 2. I have the entire Uncharted series.
Makes sense.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
And I also have Gran Turismo, which is like one of the
Sage, bro.
Yeah.
So
and like the thing is like that's only 4, and I can continuously go on
Yes.
and on and on, but I'm not gonna.
there's
Because those are my
so
4.
much.
Okay, so Sony Interactive was actually first founded in '93, and they were made to go ahead and handle Sony. I mean, the main company, Sony's gaming market. That's the whole reason why they were made. I mean, for no other purpose.
Yeah.
And what they did, I mean, they actually they evaluate and approve the games for their consoles. Like, they make it such a different thing. Like, when you want to go ahead and get approved for a game, there is a higher quality of approval that you need for Sony than you even need for any other system.
No shit.
So basically, they're saying like, if it gets past us, you're getting a great product, or what we think is a great product.
Yeah, that's essentially what they're saying.
But what about some of the games that suck? How's that work?
Well, how many
For the games
Sony
that suck,
Interactive
that means they're
Entertainment games
loved by
actually
other
suck?
ones. But yeah, you actually make a good point.
Boy, is it hot in here?
Somebody put his feet to the fire.
Shit. All right, touche.
Yeah, so each Sony Interactive Entertainment unit has their own evaluation process. You know what I mean? So each section of it, so development, R&D, all of it has its own test of approval before you go ahead and say, okay, let's take it to the next step. Let's take it to the next step. Like, yo, that is so many steps to go ahead and create, but look at what we get from it.
I was about to say it makes sense because whenever you play a game, if you have a PlayStation, whenever you play a game and you first see that thing pop up, Sony Interactive Entertainment, you know you're about to get something good. Yeah,
you did it again.
I did it again. That's number 3. My voice doesn't know what to do today.
Now the company will sometimes impose additional restrictions, and that will prohibit PlayStation 2 games, even obviously back in the day, from being ported over to the like PSP. So 30% of the content, you know what I mean, was new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and wasn't able to be ported over. The original PlayStation was actually a CD-ROM unit that was made for the Nintendo Super NES system. We talked about that before. There was a unit.
It was a weird
sold,
crossover.
There was a unit sold, a prototype that sold for in the millions of dollars, I believe. I mean, I'm almost guaranteed. And I mean, it was a prototype of the collaboration of Sony and Nintendo to go ahead and make a brand new console. And from that, Nintendo dropped off because they're like, nah, we want to keep with the cartridge thing instead of CDs. So Sony was like, fine, we're gonna
GameCube.
You're lost.
We're gonna redesign and make our own fucking unit. And that's how the first PlayStation was actually created.
Unbelievable.
So you guys wanted to ask about, you know what I mean, total units.
Yeah.
I'm talking about total units for Sony Interactive.
That's
you know what I
fine.
mean? So PlayStation
That's
2,
all. Yeah.
PSP, Vita,
This
everything.
is about to be an ungodly number, I feel like.
Probably.
540 million units sold in 27 years.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even counting the PS5.
Damn.
540 million units sold. And you guys are
Just
sitting here.
consoles.
Just consoles. I love the faces you guys are giving me for this because just wait until you hear the number one.
Oh, God. Let's go. Are we ready to go to number 1? You still got more to go.
No,
All right.
let's go.
Well, number 1, because now I'm interested in my pickle's ready to be tickled. Here we go. Number 1, a lot of people probably could have guessed this, but Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo, a company that was actually created in 1889
So awesome.
as a card company. So the cards were called Hanafuda. You know what I mean? And you mean essentially on the cards you have, you mean it's kind of like a mahjong type of thing. I mean, you go ahead and you like match cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But these are all handmade. They handmade this stuff for fucking years. Yo, the company, their main objective was these cards from 1889 till 1949.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a long run on playing cards.
60 fucking years.
You don't by any chance have the numbers on what they sold with them, do you?
I have certain parts,
Okay.
but but not all of them. So
Curious to find that out.
So the original thing for Nintendo was that the name. So obviously everybody. I mean, everything like Sony was the only one I didn't talk about what the name meant because I didn't have any of that.
Yeah, Nintendo I actually didn't know. Like I know they went from Famicom to Nintendo, but I don't know why.
But the name Nintendo is commonly thought to mean leave luck to heaven.
That's deep.
It is.
That's some deep
It
shit.
is. And
deep.
they became the first actual company in Japan to produce playing cards out of plastic. Just a nice little tidbit fact right there.
Wow.
And I really like that one. But yeah, so in 1959, they actually struck a deal with Disney to go ahead and still making these cards, but they would make them with Disney characters on them. And from that, they were able to go ahead and sell 600,000 card packs in a single year of handmade cards.
Can I just really quick?
Please.
Because you were talking about the cards, and I looked it up, and I wanted to see like what they looked like and some of the designs and stuff like that. And I highly recommend that you do look it up. It's really cool. They're good looking. Really quick though, there's just like this little thing on Business Insider. It says right here, Nintendo has gone through many iterations. It once sold ramen noodles and then decided to try out a taxi service. So Nintendo has seen. It seems like Nintendo
they
has
tried to
done
dabble in a lot.
everything.
Yeah.
They essentially said,
Everything.
we're never going to die.
Yeah, I mean that's what it seems like right
Yeah.
here. That's pretty cool.
You know what you're gonna see next? Nintendo food delivery service.
Do not
Sign
do
me
not doubt
up.
it. Do not doubt it.
Take all my money.
So for 6 years, Nintendo actually did become a toy company. So they decided to decided to go ahead and make toys, and then one day the head of the company, Yamauchi, was his last name. He was walking through one of his plants, and he saw one of the maintenance engineers create an arm. For his own, just because he wanted to. You know what I mean? Because he felt it would be something neat to go ahead and make.
Yeah.
The head of the company saw it, loved it, and then he ordered this guy, Yokoi was his name. He ordered him to go ahead and make these for Christmas. For the Christmas rush, and they're called the Ultra Hand. I don't know if you guys want to try to pull them up to go and see what it actually looked like. This was back in like the late 60s. You know what I mean? So like anywhere from 66 to 72. Was when these things came out. And they became Nintendo's earliest toy blockbusters, selling over 1 million units.
Let me see.
Wait, what do you do with this thing?
Let me see.
You literally just
It's like an old lady grabber.
let me see it because I could.
It legit. I mean,
with all words, okay, yeah, dude, yeah, man, it's a.
Oh wait, I forgot we have cameras. We only show the folks if it'll show up.
I can try. Wes, can you see that?
Yeah.
It's like a 1960s old lady grabber. That's pretty cool though.
So, so Yokoi was actually pulled off of the assembly line, and he was made basically a department head to go ahead for R&D to go ahead and create toys.
That's
cool.
and
that happened first. During their first run. So I'm getting close to the games and everything right now in the history.
Yeah.
So, Ant, why don't you go ahead and give us what you have?
Oh God, where do you friggin' start?
Exactly. So I just picked some of the most notable ones, old and new. So I got Mario, Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, Pokemon, Kirby. I mean, do you want me to keep going?
What's crazy
Metroid.
there? What's
Metroid? Yeah.
What's crazy there? If you want to try to make a Mount Rushmore for Nintendo, who the fuck do you leave off?
None.
Who do you leave off? Yeah, there's only 4. You have to leave somebody off.
Well, you use the Andes Mountains and you just put everybody there.
He's right. You
but
just
I'm
keep going.
But I'm saying, if
the Rocky Mountains and take it the entire length of the Rocky Mountains.
If you had to right now, those 6 that you just listed, like you feel like Zelda and Mario have to stay there, right?
100%.
They have to.
But see now,
who gets the other 2?
Well, I think this is just me personally. You would
crazy.
probably go Pokemon.
I feel like you have to, right?
I feel like you would have to go Pokemon.
Their 25-year run has been absolutely impactful to billions of people.
And they have
Exactly.
like no end in sight either.
Exactly. So Pokemon, you definitely have to include. And then I guess, it's up in the air. You do a coin toss or whatever the hell you want else up there.
Basically, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck, dude, that's
You just put like a
crazy.
mushroom or a star or like the little fire flower on the other end.
Yeah,
I love that. I
Because
love
Mario's like
Yeah, Mario gets 2
all of it.
spots.
Yeah, he gets 2 spots. Fuck it.
Because he's just that damn good.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So Nintendo actually released the first solar-powered light gun. And I mean, this was the first commercially available light gun for home use, and it was in partnership with Sharp. Obviously, everybody knows Sharp. You know, that company's very, very well known around out here. So in '72, they released the Eleconga, which was one of the first programmable drum machines as well.
That's sick.
Yeah, so that thing was actually pretty cool. It came with pre-programmed rhythms, and from a disc-shaped punch card, you could actually alter and program other rhythms into it to go ahead and create different patterns.
Oh, that's pretty badass. I like that.
So that's it's basically like a kid's old school reel to reel player. You can go ahead and like completely create your own thing. Like I thought that was awesome. So the first commercially available console, we already talked about that before with the Odyssey. I mean, the first one that everybody could actually get. Brown Box was the first one that we knew about. Then Odyssey was what the first consumers could actually touch. Correct. We went and broke that down in Consoles Through History.
I'm so excited to get back into that too.
So am I, actually.
Learned some real cool shit there.
Yeah, and so that was Nintendo's first involvement with video games because, like I say, it had to do with light guns and stuff like that. I mean, because their light gun was a part of the shooting gallery stuff. And let's see here. Then, actually, I don't have anything else beyond that because basically we already know what it is. I mean, we know we had the Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Had you had the portable runs with all the Game Boys, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance,
Game Boy Pocket.
Yeah, the Pocket. I mean, you had the Dreamcast, you had GameCube, N64, the Wii, the Wii U.
Wait a minute. I got to backtrack.
I'm just naming random ones. I'm not actually going in lineage.
Wait, what happened?
You said Dreamcast.
That's Sega.
You said. I didn't even catch that because I was thinking of the other ones.
I did.
My bad.
Dang, bro, get it together.
Dang, bro. Stop jumping on what I say. Call me out.
I mean, I called you out.
Yes, I appreciate that. This guy's just running with me on whatever I say.
Yeah, right.
And the Earth is flat. Yeah.
Nope. No, I didn't even get involved in that. But
that's an
it's funny that it's funny initially that Nintendo didn't want to get involved in clearly what PlayStation saw as moving forward with the CDs.
But here's the thing
and whatnot, and then they came out with the GameCube.
Could you imagine had they?
Yeah, but think about
it.
It could be good or bad. You never know. Because would we ever then have 3 consoles, or would they have just merged and we just have Xbox, Microsoft versus whatever the fuck they come out with?
You have the GameCube.
Probably cost
you
us
have
money.
the Wii and you have the Wii U. Those are the only 3 that Nintendo made that had to do with the disc.
But they still went to the disc.
But the very first,
everything. But then they went back to cartridge.
Yeah, they did go back to the cartridge.
But of course, in Nintendo fashion, the very first thing they come out with a freaking disc, they were like, "We're gonna do this different. We're gonna make you little mini discs."
That's true.
At the same time, during that time, the mini disc was actually a really big thing that people were excited for. I will say that.
Yeah.
But so
mini discs are the future, just like Blu-ray.
Actually, where people use mini discs are no longer a thing.
That's my point.
But Blu-ray is.
Who still uses Blu-ray? What? I don't use Blu-ray no more. You still use Blu-ray?
Your system has a Blu-ray player.
I don't watch movies, bro.
I'm just
I
saying.
don't use it.
I'm just saying. So it's still
Sega
used, motherfucker.
Sega was what? 80 million is what I said?
Yeah.
85 million,
85,
I think.
yeah.
Sony Interactive was 540 million, which is a huge fucking jump.
All right, now double that number for Nintendo.
I feel like I'm gonna have to fan my junk off.
No, it's not. It's not double. But
I'll start now.
But you are talking over 200 million more.
Jesus.
Than.
Fuck. Give me the number.
Yeah.
754 million units sold worldwide.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Oh my god.
You're talking about a company that has went ahead and been a part of the gaming world ever since the 70s.
That's so cool though.
Like the history on it is just so fucking impressive. Like one of the neat things I decided to keep out of this was that the head of the company, he did not have sons, and per the culture, per Japanese culture,
you better get this right.
If you do not have sons, your son-in-law, you can adopt them to go ahead and then make them the head of the company. That happened for 4 generations in Nintendo until somebody in the family finally had a son. So so the head guy's great grandson was the first one of lineage to go ahead and actually basically go ahead and be blood and run the company.
That's pretty cool.
It took that long.
What was really cool to see with Nintendo is that when you look at Sony, and at least you look once you get to the PlayStation run, and you look at Microsoft, you had the Xbox. The 360 was better than the Xbox. The One was better than the 360. They get better and better. Same with Sony. Nintendo had that glitch in the Matrix with the Wii U. Like, that thing really struggled to sell. People constantly make fun of it. But then look what they put out next. They went back to the table, and then they come out with the Switch, who I believe, as of right now, is outselling everybody.
Yeah, definitely is.
In this, and they came out. The Switch came out after everything else, right? Not counting the PS5 and because that's just starting.
No,
as far as the last,
when it comes
the PS4 and the
Xbox
One, the Switch sold more than those, right?
Within a year, yes.
Jesus
Christ. because they had like a 200 million or something like that. Fucking some shit like that. Fucking the amount of units they sold.
But it's nice to see that they got enough good
in
people
between
that
and the
implode.
light.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you want to go full, mobile. You know what I'm saying? You be full portable, not even worry about docking it for watching from TV. The light is exactly what you asked for.
Yeah, and the thing is, I have one of each. And the Nintendo Switch Lite is literally, it was one of the best things that I got before my deployment. It was so good to have. You, on the plane, fucking hurry up and wait kind of bullshit, just sitting there in the fucking terminal playing and shit like that. And that system alone is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, that's where we sit when it comes down to the top 10.
Yeah, so you can see there's just so much in the video game world that comes from innovations that come from Asia. Again, not just Japan. It seems primarily Japan, but Asia in general. There's so much innovation that came from there. Shit that we wouldn't have today if it didn't start there.
Yep.
They fixed for Christ's sake, they fixed the video game crisis that we had here with their own system.
Yeah.
With the NES.
Yeah. And honestly, think about it. Dude, you're talking about 754 million, 540 million, 80 million. Put all that together, dude. There is no other culture or group of people. I guess I'll go ahead and just say race. That's basically what the breakdown is. There is no other race of people to go ahead and contribute more to the gaming world and give us the things that not only have given us so much joy in our 30 plus years of being on this earth, but also our fathers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our uncles. You know what I mean? Our aunts.
People came before us,
so many before us, dude. Like, yo, fucking Nintendo, dude. 1889. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's insane.
And you keep adding that on because then the next generation are going to experience it because it wasn't just with the consoles. It's also the innovations that game developers use now for their games. All stuff that they took.
Yes.
So, it's insane. It's insane the amount of influence that they've had.
And that was, look, everything that happened in Atlanta was definitely the push for why we did this episode, but this episode was long in the making before then just because of our appreciation. You know what I'm saying? For everything that has been put out.
Think about this. Think about what the state of gaming could be if the Nintendo never released here when US was going through that crisis and they were just putting out shitty product and people were like, I'm kind of not feeling this video game thing. Like, imagine if the Nintendo never came out.
Yeah.
The fuck would we have?
Or even then, imagine if Sony never decided to go ahead and branch into it.
There's a lot of different
having
ways
their own gaming department. To go ahead and actually make SEI.
Yeah.
Or SIE, sorry.
And it's crazy that those numbers that you gave are just consoles.
That's just consoles.
Just consoles.
It's not even talking about,
games that they that's.
It's not talking about games. It's not talking about a breakdown of, how much money, was actually brought in. I didn't find that number. If I did, I probably wouldn't be able to say that number.
That's insane. Funny enough, since we're talking about this and we touched on Mario, I was watching an episode or a clip from Pawn Stars the other day. Is it Pawn Stars? Yeah, I think it's Pawn Stars the other day. And this dude
I haven't watched that show in fucking ever.
This dude has the very first sticker sealed Super Mario Brothers game. Mm-hmm. That's the shit that they came out with in the test market before it got wrapped in like cellophane and stuff like that. And it was graded by, I think Wata is the place that does video games, and it was graded like an ungodly high number. It was like a 95 or a 96 or something like that. That basically
he offered him a quarter.
No, he didn't know
Good
enough.
guess.
But the dude was asking for $1 million, and the dude that came in to let him know, like, can you tell me more about this because I don't know as much. He was like, I knew that there was a market for like 5-figure games, and I didn't know there was a market for 6-figure games, let alone 7 figures. And the dude was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, something like this, I've seen firm offers of $300,000 to $350,000 turned down. Like, imagine owning that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Imagine being that guy and being like, first of all, a pawn shop doesn't seem like the type of place to try to unload that.
No.
You go to like a video game collector or something like that, and you can probably get double or triple that. But it's like, you have a kid, and you can just hand that to your kid and be like, here's like your college and your kid's college if you want. just to sell this. But
Yeah, essentially that's what it would be.
that'd be so sick. I always want to go through some of my old video game shit and just see what I have and just see what out there. Because there's a lot of games that make a good amount of money, even if all you have is the cartridge left, as long as it works.
Yeah.
But
True. All right.
yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's everything. Holy hell. Well, no, dude, I say holy hell because it's a lot. Yeah, there was. I mean, everything we broke down was just a lot, dude. From Sonic Team all the way up to Nintendo. But let's give y'all some news. So one of the stories I have is that you have Outriders coming out on April 1st. So that's gonna be a few days after this podcast airs. I'm excited for it. Obviously with me and having Game Pass now, Andy having Game Pass, that game is day one release. So, but what the game is developed by a company called People Can Fly, and they have so far identified 200 cheaters out of the 2 million total people that have played the game, and they're gonna ban them fuckers from being able to fucking play.
Fuck out of here.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So they're so the way they're identifying the cheating is intentionally running the game on PC without any anti-cheat software, which I guess I guess you're kind of just going into the system, going into the code and fucking with it. That's kind of what it sounds like to me. You're modifying the game to enhance the characters, your level, skills, inventory, etc. Because you can only go to like tier world 5 and level 7. In the game so far in the demo. Externally modifying the game time to reduce time-dependent features such as the vendors and the challenges. So that can go ahead and cause you to get fucking canned. Using a trainer program or similar to gain advantages within the game is another way. And the last one they have is using gameplay altering programs such as aimbots and wall hacks to go ahead and get through and get gear.
Aimbots have been a thing forever. Well, not forever, but at least the last couple of years have been plaguing games like Fortnite and stuff like that. You had a lot of scandals going on with like some of the big guys from like the esports world. Someone got caught using that shit, and I think he got like a lifetime ban or something.
Yeah, he did.
Fortnite for that.
Yeah, that was like last year or the year before. I remember that.
Yeah.
But so that's that's the main thing coming out of Outriders. And Square Enix. So I'm definitely happy to go ahead and hear that. Hear these guys going ahead and dropping these motherfuckers. I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Nope. Get out.
Let's see here. What else do we have? Ghost of Tsushima is going to be getting a movie.
Yeah, I knew nothing about this
Anthony's
until
jaw hit the floor when he heard that.
hell yeah, it did. It's an exciting thing.
Sorry, I got a lot of stuff over here. So
no, all good.
So the movie is going to be getting directed by the man that directed the John Wick movies.
Mm-hmm.
So Chad
Gonna be nice.
Stahelski.
Well, there is a reason why you're not going to enjoy the movie.
Why?
Because the main character is going to be cast by Kevin Hart. He's going to be Kevin Hart. So.
I quit.
Yo, you want to talk about a fucked up cultural appropriation?
Jesus Christ.
Like,
We don't have anything yet when it comes down to when it's going to be out, anything like that. They're aiming for 2022 for a release, but they still haven't thrown out anybody who's going to be a part of the cast yet. They haven't thrown out anything of when the movie's actually going to start being filmed.
Yeah.
So we got to see.
What I just said was an absolute lie. Kevin Hart has, to my knowledge, nothing to do with this movie yet.
Yeah. Did you just say yet?
He said yet.
You never know.
He absolutely said yet.
You never know.
He's playing Claptrap.
Here's something I thought was actually a really cool story.
Claptrap.
He should play Claptrap.
Yeah, I said he is.
Agree. You said he is when he's not.
No,
Yeah,
he
now
should.
you agree with him. He's just correcting everyone and himself today. We just don't give a shit.
No, we don't.
Just letting people spread false information.
Maybe it could become truth and they recast him as Claptrap.
So, Microsoft has decided to walk away from you needing an Xbox Live Gold account in order to use Party Chat in order to play the multiplayer free-to-play games.
I like this.
They decided basically as long as you have an internet connection, just go ahead and have fun. And I mean, a lot of that has been happening during the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, a lot of companies are sitting here going,
That's nice, though.
look, if you have internet, just do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, look, I mean, a lot of stuff is going on right now about trying to create national broadband, but that's more of a political topic than anything else, and we're not going to get into it. But yeah, I thought that was actually a really, really cool thing that Xbox has decided.
Yeah,
to
that's
do.
a solid move. Notice how Xbox has been coming out with like all this really cool shit lately since they fucked up.
When they were originally going to like raise the price.
Yep, they were like,
There's a lot of shit
$120, and now all this free shit's coming
Best thing
through
that ever
fucking
happened.
Microsoft. It was the best thing.
And
that ever
I know
happened.
Andy wanted to go ahead and discuss this a little bit, so so we definitely can. So Xbox Live is no longer Xbox Live.
Yeah, it's not really necessarily a discussion. We just had to touch on it because Xbox Live has been, like I said, it's been the better part of like 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Now it's what now? Xbox Network?
It is the Xbox Network.
All right.
I mean, look, I know a lot of people who refuse to say Xbox Network. They're always going to call it Xbox Live.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Just saying.
That's coming from a guy who doesn't have an Xbox. So
You're right.
I'm still going to call it Xbox Live. Goddamn.
When I get my Xbox, you're fucking damn right. I'm gonna. You guys hopping on live?
Yo, you getting on the network?
We're
Yo, man, you getting on?
gonna get on the
like,
network.
Like, no, dude, I'm getting on the network, bro.
Yeah. Take your two hands, shove them through your eyes.
Everything
Yep,
has to.
just like that.
Wow.
That would suck for you because you got big hands. Him though, he's got little fucking hands. It might not even hurt.
So, as you can tell, Anthony is totally fine with change. No issues here.
None.
Oh man, I love this. Oh, so good to have you guys back. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about was that there is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that is it is a side scroller, old school retro beat 'em up game.
So is it gonna be like almost impossible to beat?
Like all those.
Like all of them?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. It's going to be called Shredder's Revenge, and it's essentially Turtles in Time. You know what I mean?
Which I loved.
There's gonna be a
I
disclaimer that says, "Good luck beating this game."
You're gonna have to go into the beginning like people did back in the day and like set the credits to like 9 instead of the 3 that they give you.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right.
Unlimited, please.
We have nothing yet on when it comes out. I will say that the only place you can see anything for a pre-order right now is Steam, but there is word that it is going to be coming out for all consoles.
That's cool.
Sweet.
But yeah, that is what we have in news. So,
There it is.
what, you thought you weren't going to get it?
Oh no, go for it.
Here it is.
I have no idea what he's about to ask us.
Yeah, me neither.
I need to know.
I don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay then. I guess we'll do it.
I mean,
What we are playing.
didn't I say I quit?
Huh?
Didn't I say I quit earlier?
Yeah.
Why am I still here?
I don't know.
That's entirely your choice.
Do you have anything you want to go first or no?
I really haven't been playing much. Actually, you know what's really weird?
No, you have. You've been shaking your hips.
He sure has.
This man's locking eyes with all of gaming community and just shaking away
Look, man, yo,
like a belly dancer. Look at me.
the people who jump in
His
to
hips did not
my
lie.
the people that jump into my my streams for the workouts, they might see some hip movement. I'm not gonna lie.
His ring fitted with wenches.
These are the best ring fit adventures I've ever seen.
What was that?
Wes's ring fit adventures
Oh, there it is. Okay.
got a little sexy on Friday. They got a little sexy.
You know
They
what?
got a little too sexy for my taste.
I
But-
needed to hit a certain amount of moves for the core. You know what I mean? Because that was the main group of enemies that I had to deal with, and this was one of the ones that I had with the best damage.
He was just trying to get more subs on the Twitch. That's all that was.
Yo, check out my
He's
hips.
like, yo, how do I get more people? Bah!
Look at my hips. They moving.
I'm pretty sure I've probably lost followers for doing this.
You are no longer a Twitch affiliate.
I know, right?
Fuck all that work.
All I needed to do was mute your stream and put on some music that would have gone perfectly with it and just
No.
ding ding ding.
You could mute his stream and put on any music and it would go with it.
Yeah.
I've actually gotten into Animal Crossing.
That doesn't surprise me. I got
that face,
balls
though.
deep in it.
I never
looks like
I
he's
never thought I
angry
would.
that he got into
I
it.
never thought I would.
It's annoying when you get into something that you didn't think
It's
you get into.
terrible.
It's annoying at first.
It is a weird thing. But like so.
I don't like.
Don't play it too much longer. Then it'll get once the hooks start to set, it's over.
Oh no, I'm already in. I'm already ready for it. But so we realized that when it comes down to one Switch system, you can only have one island. That's it.
That was the first thing that annoyed Alex and I.
So Jess hates it right off the gate because
he gave you the finger waggle.
I do apologize.
Like, I just got a talking to.
Yeah, you did.
Like I made the fucking game.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Like
you owe me a fucking Coke, dude.
I don't buy Coke.
Oh yeah, neither do I. Can I have a Pepsi?
Continue.
We are not sponsored.
We agree here, but continue.
No, yeah. So, my daughter wanted to go ahead and play the game, and we were like, okay, cool. She can have her own island, do her own thing.
Sure,
and then when we loaded up her profile, because now we bought the family plan for the Switch online.
Yeah.
And it went ahead and started bringing her to my wife's island, which is Hamilton Island.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then it started like, and we're going.
What are we doing wrong?
Whoa. That's not right. That's not right. We're not doing this.
Oh, no, you're going to have to do it.
Oh, yeah, we have to. So we went ahead.
I love how they're so angry
I did a little bit of research.
Their daughter has to live on the island with them.
It's their only safe place away from all children.
It was more the fact of she didn't want her to sell stuff that that we've been collecting or that my wife's been collecting.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Because all Elena wants to do.
Time out. It's a video game.
True.
You spend a lot of time.
Yeah, but
for
you know
shit,
what?
though.
Who cares?
No. Snap my kid's wrist off. No, I'm just kidding.
You're not
just
bored
duck.
yet.
Oh, Jesus. But so I started helping Elena fish. And I started figuring it out, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then I started doing that, and then I eventually today brought myself in, to the game, and then I started fishing and chopping trees and catching butterflies and all the other shit.
Do you call those things badges or stickers? Just so I know how to talk about it. You know what I'm talking when you do certain things and you get.
What do you want to call
to accumulate your miles and all that type of shit?
Yeah, what do you call them? So
I don't call them anything right now, but go ahead.
We'll call them badges.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait.
I want you to.
I feel like this is an argument though between you and your wife.
Oh no! This has nothing to do with that. I just don't know how to communicate it here.
Okay.
No.
I was waiting for this to come out, and you call it the same as Andy, and Andy's like, "Ha! I fucking told you."
No. This isn't one of them.
Okay, good.
No, but I want you to start. I want you to start today.
You're safe.
I want you to start today because I want to see how long it takes you, and if it drives you nuts, the one badge for the consecutive fish landed. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I would never be able to get that. I hit the button too quick sometimes.
Basically, when you fish in Animal Crossing, it's you see the fish because you see the shadow. You saw me play?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I've
you have
seen
to
you fish.
if you get you have to get 100 in a row to
I've
max
also
that
played
out.
the original one.
I don't think
on
they
the
had badges
GameCube.
in the original though.
No, but I'm pretty sure like some
I've
of the
never
stuff
played-
was still the
I-
same.
This is
like
my first
fishing.
time playing Animal Crossing.
I'm not
Did
sure.
they do like fishing and shit like that? I can't remember now.
I don't remember.
Fuck.
But you have to
Let us know.
You have to get 100 in a row, and there was 3 times that I got to 85, and then I fucked up.
What do you need?
I got
like
to like
100?
100 in a row. I got to like 88, and I screwed up. And then the one time I got in the 90s, and Alex, I think, almost heard me break everything in the room I was in because
God, I'm gonna break every one of these fucking pillows.
I did eventually do it.
He said
I did eventually do it
I feel like if he's in the living room, there's like a lot of stuff, but there's probably pillows.
Yeah, there's enough pillows for it.
by cheating, but
What?
Oh, no.
yeah. Okay, not by.
No.
but
You already said it.
Yeah.
Well, I was
You
gonna say
rat fucking bastard.
I did. I still had to do it. I just took advantage of an exploit because I'm smart.
That doesn't make you smart.
No, that makes you a cheater.
Makes you lazy.
Every 3 minutes, the game does that autosave in the top right corner. So as soon as it autosaves, go, get as many fish as you can in a row. If you're feeling good, you've gotten to like 7 or 8, just stop, wait for the autosave to come back, and then start again.
Motherfucker.
And then at some point, if you miss a fish, just exit out, come back in. Bro, I gave it 3 solid tries. So essentially, I caught like 80, like I said, like 85, 88, and then 92. And I said, fuck it, I'm not doing this a 4th time. Not doing it.
So you
Cheated.
Cheated.
Yeah. Yep.
What's
Yep.
that say
Motherfucker.
about you?
But that I cheated. that I cheated.
All right.
But
that I cheat. That's all.
outside of that annoying fact in the beginning, which Alex and I also agree because we thought she could have her own island, I could have mine,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, so
outside of that,
so right now, like, my tent is completely filled with my stuff. You know what I mean? I've planted a bunch of weeds around Jess's area because, well, no, she
you
said,
rude.
She said she wants an area where there's a bunch of weeds, so that way she can go ahead and pick them. I mean, that way she can use them for whatever she has to use to like make stuff. So I said, okay, because I had like 97 of them that I fucking pulled. So I start throwing them all around her, and she goes, "What are you doing? What the fuck?"
Bro.
It was actually really funny this morning.
Once you realize just how much of a grind that game is, talk to your boy, because he's got
1,000 different ways for you to cheat.
Yeah.
Well, have you met Flick yet?
No.
He's like this red. He's like this. I don't know what the fuck it is. He's like a red. I don't know if he's a rhino. I don't know what the fuck he is. But he comes by, and he gives you more money for bugs. You know how you can sell bugs and shit. When he's by, you can give him the bugs, and he'll give you like twice as much money. Or
I've been going to the Owl and just donating all the shit for the museum. So
well, once you've already donated or whatever, you can give it to him. And obviously, the two biggest money-making bugs you can give are tarantulas or scorpions, whatever time of year it is.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's tarantulas right now, but I believe only 5 or 6 bugs can spawn at one given time on the island. So you have, once you catch one, a different thing will respawn somewhere else. So it's so hard to find tarantulas. What you can do is use your Nook miles to go to a random island, hope that you find an island with, not a lot of water, just like strictly land and trees and shit. Chop all the trees down, dig up all the rocks, so all you have left is a flat piece of ground, and then run around. Dude, you'll get tarantulas to just pop up left and right. I've stocked up like 25, 30 tarantulas at a time, and then came back, sold them for like 150 G's. It's worth it.
No, I'm actually enjoying myself, and the cool thing is that this will probably end up being something that my wife and I play together, which is something that
that's what we did. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a lot of games that we do that with, so it'll be fun.
That's what we did. She just finished up all the Mario stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, Freaky Friday didn't happen. You weren't able to. You had something with work. So instead of dealing with Freaky Friday, I decided to just do a Fall Guys Friday. So I ran through about 2 hours of Fall Guys, kicking that shit with Shelby, and that was actually a lot of fun. We had a really good time. But other than that, it's been Gambit night on Monday, and my workouts and shaking my hips Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Sure has. Well, for me, I finally started messing around with my Series X. Took me forever to find stuff to play because there's just so much now that I have Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, you sent me a text saying, "Yo, the amount of games is ridiculous," and I'm like, "Good ridiculous or bad ridiculous?" Because I didn't know whether he would sit here and think like, "Yo, like why the hell they have this on here?" But no, it was good ridiculous because
good and bad because I couldn't figure out what the hell to watch.
There's like over 150 games on there now.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
It's so much. So I messed around with a couple games and then deleted. Like I jumped back into Fight Night Champion a little bit because it's been so long since I played a boxing game. That was fun, but I knew I wasn't gonna like actually do the story mode or anything, so I deleted that. I downloaded Fable. Yeah, because they got the anniversary edition. Yeah. So I got Fable. I messed around with. I'm still messing around with that. That's gonna stay on there until it's all done because that game is so much fun. Which is that's what I recommended to him. For his next set of games to get into.
Hell yeah. 100%.
I want to finish Ori first.
No, I don't believe you.
The second Ori game.
Once you get that done, hop in Fable for sure.
I started Ori in the Blind Forest because I played it when it first came out, but I only played the first little bit.
Now it's optimized.
It looks great.
The colors are
so much fun. It's so much fun.
The music is great too.
Yeah, everything's great. The story, like I said, it kicks you in the gut like right away.
Yeah.
But it's it's been a lot of fun. I'm trying to get used to the interface because I'm so used to Sony that doing this other shit, I'm like, dude, I don't know where the hell I'm going.
Yeah.
But it's been solid. I think the wife's gonna start Zoo Tycoon or one of those Tycoon games, so she has something to play. I may mess around with Jurassic World, see what happens.
Yeah, the Evolutions is on there.
Yeah, there's so much that I want to play on there though. Like you got all the Dead Space games. It'd be cool to run through those.
Yeah, and then on top of the fact you have the Medium, which I just finished.
You have the Medium. Blair Witch I definitely want to play, but that I think is what I would do for Freaky Friday, so I don't want to play it yet.
Then let's go. Next Friday, yo.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I want to get into that.
I'm come over and stand in a corner as you play it.
Oh, fucking.
Or one of us can come over and handle the chat.
Huh?
One of us can come over and handle the chat and go ahead and basically do most of the talking.
I cannot be responsible for what happens if someone stands in the corner and freaks me the fuck out.
Just look back at him and go, hey, Andy.
But, there's just so much. There's like 50 things that I'm like, well, I'm going to play this. No, I'm going to play this. No, I'm going to play this. No, I think I'm going to play this one.
You know what you do? Are they in alphabetical order?
Yeah.
Pick one from each and start there.
I did originally think that I was just going to
start
with
at A and work all the way to the back.
That's what I thought I was going to do.
That's actually a good thought.
That is what I thought I was going to do at first. I was like, ooh, the first one is the new Ace Combat.
Yep.
There
Ace
you go.
Combat 7, and I was like, ooh, I could do this, but I didn't.
Terrible person.
No, I did seriously give that thought though, but I want to get through Ori first, and I'm probably going to go right into the next Ori after this one while it's still
Will of the Wisp. Yeah.
all
I mean,
fresh.
you might as well.
Yeah, well, it's all fresh, and that's the one that's even more optimized for the new shit, right?
Oh yeah,
For the
100%.
Wisp,
Yeah, and I mean, look, I mean, they're both like 10, 12-hour games, you know. So
yeah. But no, it's been fun. I do still. It's not like I've just abandoned my PlayStation. I'm still playing 2K. I've been playing 2K so much longer than you. I'm still not at your overall yet. I'm still not there. You were like an 88, weren't you?
4 years of college.
Yeah, I'm a 71, and I'm halfway through my NBA season.
Well, yeah, but if you take that into effect of all the games that I played in college, there were 8 or 9 games per year
Yeah.
that you got credit for. So that's 4 years of that. And then I was also at the same spot as you were in our career.
quick
Yeah.
question.
So you're probably finally coming up to, well, maybe not.
No,
When it comes down
17 overall.
to playing in the college, you know what I mean, with NBA 2K.
You started in high school, by the way.
Okay, but with the college, I mean, do you go through the touring?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And you
oh,
get to
wow.
pick you get to pick your college that you want to go to and all that other kind of
Oh,
stuff.
wow. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Because I know eventually at some point, I mean, that's going to end up on Game Pass because I mean,
Play it. It's fun.
I'm super stuck on one of my endorsements because you get endorsements and then they give you, tasks to do in a certain game that you can pick, and then if you do it, they'll give you a certain amount of the VC, the currency to spend on upping your guy. And the one that I'm stuck on right now is having at least 80% from the field with a minimum of 15 attempts. So you basically have to go, if you're going to just stop at 15, you got to go 13 for 15 in the whole game. And every time I get to like 10 of 12 or 11 of 13, I miss one, and then I miss another one, and I'm like, fuck! So, yeah, that's how that's going. But I'm still just trying to get up to where you're at so we can bust some people's ace.
Oh, in the city. Yeah.
And I still have not gotten much VC out of that damn daily reward like you got.
Well, that also
Only
definitely
twice.
helped.
Oh, yeah, only twice have I even gotten VC out of there. And the one time I got 1,500, and the other time I got 750.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I got. I'm gonna play more Series X when I get home.
And I haven't played anything.
That's the plan. So that was short and sweet, Dan.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
legit have not played anything.
okay, so we're going to wait until you guys are finished.
Yeah,
the way out
yeah.
to
We
go
just gotta
ahead and
make
hear
sure.
from
We
it?
gotta try to make sure we finish it before next week, then, so we don't have to keep putting this off.
Okay,
We can't have much
because
fun.
I really want to hear about it, and also that's another game that's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I was like, I could play it with you, but then it wouldn't be as fun because
You already know what to
I
expect.
already know what to do. What
That's
to
why you
expect.
definitely
I
need
hear
you need to play it with somebody that hasn't played it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Hav and I have been talking about it.
And you
so.
absolutely need to
Do
stream
it.
that because that'd be hilarious to watch.
Absolutely, it's insane.
All right, so finished everything up. So, Ant, tell them where they can find us.
Hell yeah, it's that time again. And this is how you can connect with CGC. You can check us out on our Twitter, which is @ConsoleCrew. You can check us out on our www, which is the website, which is consolegamingcrew@gmail.com is the email address is attached to it. You can check us out on our YouTube, which this will be on. I'm
Hopefully.
excited. This is the number 2. This will be the second episode where you're
Second
going to
episode,
actually be able to see us.
I ran into problems last time. So.
No worries.
I'm
This will be
still
the
very new with
second
this.
episode where you're actually going to be able to see us, so that's pretty cool. We have our Instagram, which is Console Gaming Crew, and we have our not talked about thing that we don't. Oh no, we still got it.
Still there.
It's still there. It's still there.
So that's not going to be talked about. And then you can check us out on Twitch, which it encompasses all three of us, which is CGC Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to start that off with, having somebody else other than me with a banger with Andy playing Blair Witch.
Yeah, that should be the
Friday
this,
coming up.
This Friday coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. We did talk about this before the show. We are also part of Boss Rush Networks.
Yes.
Amazing group of other podcasters that we are actually part of now. So you can always check them out as well.
Yeah, go to bossrushgames.com, right?
Yep.
Yes. So just want to throw that in there. Great place to be.
Yeah.
Great place to be.
All right, so we appreciate everybody listening to this one. This was a hell of an episode. It was a lot of fun, man. We learned a lot. I learned so much with the research.
Yeah, me too. By listening to you talk the entire time.
Yeah. Fuck.
We got to work on that.
Look, I will easily cut my mic off and just walk away one day.
Yeah, says the guy who fucking threw the plug back in really quick. Was like, no, I gotta talk. Yeah, all right, thanks, producer. Well, we're at the end of the show, so it doesn't really matter now, does it?
So you do your part.
Oh,
He just did his part.
I did my part.
Then somebody else take my part.
Oh, well, go ahead, Andy. You did it last week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you're right. So, as Wes is just staring me down.
I know it's awkward, isn't it?
It's very awkward. So why don't you just plug your thing back in? You're freaking me out.
Nah, he wants you to do it now. So just don't look at him. Look at me.
Like,
I am the captain. It's the perfect time to do it. Perfect time to do it.
okay, as Wes would always say as he takes us out, stay safe, wash your hands, mask the up,
Oh yeah.
and as always,
Game on. Go get the chips, Wes.
Damn it.